Hello people, Complaining Gamer here. I've just got a video for you today in what is going to be a series of videos which I'm going to call talking points, and basically I'm just going to talk about some of the thoughts I've been having. Now this is going to be the first in the series, and I want to talk about the teething problems in the Black Ops launch. The gameplay is kind of irrelevant, it's just a free-for-all on launch, I think. So, one of the first things I want to talk about is the campaign and some of the issues that have been raised to me. I mean, I personally love the campaign, but I've had a few things pointed out to me which I hadn't even really noticed, and I always find it interesting when people, when people give you their input. So, one of the first things which I was aware of, which I think is an issue, is the fact that there's no co-op. That is a huge fail, and this seriously pisses me off when you get developers where they come out, their excuse is it's just pathetic. The excuse is, oh, but the campaign is supposed to be experienced by just one person, only one person can experience this, and it's just like, shut the fuck up. Like, I want to play with my friend, but they don't give you the option. So, developers, if you're listening, fucking stop doing that, you morons. Now, moving on to another point. It's been pointed out to me that, I mean, like I said before, I personally really enjoyed the campaign, but some people felt that there was too many sort of moments of downtime, too many cutscenes, too many slow-mos. I mean, I had a friend around here, and he was like, I'm actually going to be able to, do I get to play this game at some point? It's like constant slow-mos, which could have been moments of gameplay. So another thing with the campaign is that it's been called a bit of a corridor shooter. Now, some people feel this game is a little bit rinse and repeat. You come to a new location and there's a bunch of enemies and you have to kill them. Now, I wouldn't say that's incorrect, but the thing is, when has Call of Duty ever not been that? I find it too easy. I find it too simple to just break a game down into such short terms. I mean, sports game, oh, it's just a ball. Racing game, oh, it's just cars. I mean, it's too easy to do that. So you should always try and find that extra bit of depth, which is there, but if you don't want to find it, you're not going to find it. You might be a hater, you might just be an all-out hater and whatnot. So that was another complaint in the campaign that was pointed out to me. Now, something which isn't particularly important, but it is part of the game, is that the theater in multiplayer, I compared it to Halo's, and I actually argued that Call of Duty's was done better, for several reasons. And in case you don't know what I'm on about, this is in the complete game review that I've done. If you haven't seen it, I'll put up links, and you can see it, the complete review of Black Ops. Now, one thing that Halo does do that I'm fairly sure Black Ops doesn't do, and I don't even think it's particularly important, but I will point it out, is that you can record the campaign in Halo. The theater records the campaign, whereas in Black Ops it doesn't do anything like that. There is no campaign record, so there's a little one-up for Halo. Now, just a few final points about the campaign that I'd like to make. I found that it was, if it's your first experience, your first playthrough, I found that the most enjoyable way to play it was on Recruit. Literally, if you're going to do Veteran, you're going to get pissed off, you're going to get frustrated, and that is not the way to enjoy it. So, my advice would be play it through on Recruit, the easiest setting, enjoy it, and then go back and get fucking pissed off. Now, the final point I want to make for the campaign, and this is gonna make people a little bit twitchy, and it's the very end, you've had this immense experience, in my opinion, immense experience. And you get this kind of Easter egg, and I won't spoil it too much, but I will say it involves zombies. So, you know, you've had this deep, credible experience, and then you just get zombies. I mean, Red Dead did this, and in my opinion, zombies is such, it's basically retarded, okay? And for me, it destroys any integrity and credibility that has been built up over, you know, your 10-hour experience, and it literally takes a shit on it, because it's like, yeah, fucking zombies, yeah, woo, and it's just like, wow, you know, think of your favourite film, watch that, and then watch the fucking Teletubbies, because that's the same thing, you know. Anyway, moving on from the campaign. This next point I don't necessarily agree with, but I do see where these people are coming from. Some people have said that the graphics and the engine, some people feel they look bad and it's just outdated, and to an extent I do understand the argument, but I don't exactly agree with it. I actually do find the graphics quite good, but the whole point is the graphics have high points and low points, so they're definitely not all out terrible. I mean, the thing is, there's never really a point where you're like, you're so aware of how bad they are that it fucks, you know, it just ruins the experience for you. Making some extra quick points actually in the multiplayer. That little RC car, for those of you that don't know, you can shoot it. So that was pretty cool to realise that. And one thing that I've come to realise is I'd actually say there's a fairly good balance in the game. There doesn't seem to be too many YouTubers or anything like this. It's still early days, so we'll see. But yeah, the balance seems very good. Nothing seems too ridiculous and overpowered. Moving on to another subject that that's really going to get people's asses twitching is the sniping. People are fucking crying about this. Apparently, the ability to quickscope in the same way that you could in Modern Warfare 2 has gone. So I'd just like to say, get raped to the quickscopers, because I always fucking hated you, and now you can't even do it. So fuck off. A quick note about the maps would be that I actually quite like the maps. I think they're pretty cool, the ones I've played anyway. Doing these videos, it takes fucking shitloads of your time. So let's just talk quickly about that one called Nuketown. Now, just for those of you that are that fucking stupid that you're like, it looks like a cartoon. Why does it look like a cartoon? It's a nuke testing facility. It is a fake village. Like, it's supposed to look that way. I just saw some of these comments and I just had to point that out. I'm sorry. If there's one thing that I'd personally like to see a bit more of in this game, it would be more modding settings, you know. And it's not because of Modern Warfare 2, it's because it's what I like to see, you know. I don't really want to sort of get this Vietnam 60s, 70s, you know, maybe even a bit of World War 2 in there. Like, I don't really want to particularly be seeing that stuff. I'd much prefer modern settings, but you know, regardless, the game does still hold up on its own. Now, moving on to another point, I'd just like to talk about Machinima very quickly. And my issue with them, you know, I love Machinima, I watch the stuff, I think it's great. But the problem is, when your community is that big, when you have that much of a following and that many contributors, this game is going to be raped into the ground within a week. And I mean pulp. Like, there's just nothing left. It's just a bit of a shame, you know. Their sort of market share is going to lead to huge amounts of saturation in a very rapid bit of time. Now, moving on to a few extra things. The matchmaking. I don't know if many of you have noticed it, but at the minute it is basically fuckhead. if you join in a party of friends, so many people are getting kicked out. Now, so, I'm just stating a fact, people. For those of you who are like, oh, it's just come out. Why are you whining? Like, look, there's a problem. It's there. We'll have to see if it gets sorted. Just making a few final points whilst this video closes out. I like the fact that Treyarch, for the most part, decided to get rid of forcing you to chat in game. I believe that there are some game types where you have to do that, but in terms of Infinity Ward, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen Infinity Ward do. The fact that you had to talk in game a lot of the time. And if I just knock out a few quick complaints, it would be that there is already people who are able to do like the 15th prestige glitches, and so there goes any point validity to the leaderboards. They're gone. Some people that spend a lot of their time getting to that point, it's irrelevant. So the only person that you can really please at the end of the day is yourself. And if this game goes like every other Call of Duty game before, the developers are going to be absolute fucking pussies, and they are just going to absolutely do fuck all about their corrupted leaderboards, and they're just going to, in fact, Modern Warfare 2 is a mess. Some of the gamer tags actively promote how to gain, contact them, gain access to this 10th prestige system. So anyway, people, I'm going to leave it there. There's more I could have talked about, but that is going to be the end of the first talking points with Playing Game Up. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you are sensitive to swearing, a little bit late, people. We're sort of like 13 minutes in. But yeah, I'll check you next time, and thank you very much.